Hi, I'm Doug Wolf, and I'd like to welcome you to Response Technology's Hazmat and History Briefing Series. One disturbing trend seen to develop over the last few years is that many of our new technicians, their officers, and even their system managers have no idea about the incidents that have occurred in the past that have led us to where we are today. And a perfect example of that is what happened in West Texas on April 17, 2013. A fire in the West Fertilizer Company resulted in the detonation of 30 tons of ammonium nitrate, killing 15 people. 12 of them were emergency responders, and as many as 150 more people were injured. Now, the purpose of this Hazmat and History briefing is not to critique the actions taken by the West Texas Volunteer Fire Department, but rather, we want to focus on a concept that we need to embrace, and that is we need to learn from history. And history repeats itself many times when we look at ammonium nitrate. Now, ammonium nitrate is typically a very stable, water-soluble salt compound. It's one of the most common fertilizers used today to raise the nitrogen content in soil as it dissolves during irrigation. In many ways, it's much safer than the alternative use of gaseous anhydrous ammonia, and we'll discuss anhydrous ammonia in a future Hazmat and History briefing. Now, one of the key things about ammonium nitrate relates back to something we already know, called the fire triangle. If we remember, the fire triangle is comprised of three components: a fuel or reducing agent, oxygen or an oxidizer, and energy. When these three components are brought together in proper proportion, we have combustion. Now, simply put, the only difference between combustion and what we commonly refer to as an explosion is the type of fuel, the type of oxidizer, and the source of the energy. Add to that some compression, and we can create a detonation. Looking at the formula for ammonium nitrate, we find that it's comprised of two parts. First is a positively charged cation called ammonium, which serves as a strong reducing agent or fuel. The ammonium is then attached to a negatively charged nitrate anion, which is a strong oxidizer. So instead of dealing with ordinary combustibles and 21% oxygen in ambient air, we now have a strong fuel, ammonium, and a righteously strong oxidizer, nitrate, in the same molecule. This molecular composition can be referred to as an ideal explosive. Now, luckily, under normal conditions, ammonium nitrate is extremely stable. However, when the energy side of the fire triangle is introduced through rapid heating, particularly in an enclosed or confined fire area, and contamination is added, ammonium nitrate can rapidly and unpredictably decompose and transition into a detonation. Texas City, Texas on April 16, 1947 was the scene of just such an event when fire broke out in the hold of the French freighter, the SS Grand Camp. The vessel had been loaded with 2,300 tons, that's 4.6 million pounds, of ammonium nitrate. At approximately 8 a.m., fire broke out in the hold. Most likely the fire was caused by longshoremen smoking, a practice that was prohibited by safety procedures, but normally overlooked by supervisors. Numerous attempts to extinguish the fire were made by longshoremen and firefighters from Texas City and the nearby refineries. The captain of the vessel even introduced steam into the hold in an attempt to smother the fire. That in itself was futile. Ammonium nitrate's an oxidizer. It can't be smothered. In fact, that action may have even worsened the situation. At 9:12 a.m., the Grand Camp's cargo of ammonium nitrate detonated in what is still the largest industrial accident in U.S. history. It killed all of the firefighters on scene and over 460 others. There were 113 people's remains who could never even been found. Hundreds of more undocumented seamen and workers were also believed to have been killed, and over 5,000 people were injured. It should be brutally clear to us that fires involving ammonium nitrate can have disastrous consequences. Now, let's move forward 70 years to West Texas in 2013. A fire in the West Fertilizer Company held 30 tons of ammonium nitrate in an enclosed building that was involved in fire. Do you see any similarities? Enclosed ammonium nitrate, tremendous heat, rapidly growing fire. How many clues do we need that something like this is going to go wrong? Now, like I said before, we're not evaluating the actions of West Texas. You can find out a lot of detailed analysis online about this incident. For example, the Chemical Safety Board at csb.gov has an excellent investigation of what happened and some of the contributing factors. It wasn't all the fire department's fault. Typically, during such an incident investigation, what is called a fault tree analysis is conducted. These analyses generally never single out one action or inaction that results in these events. It's usually a multitude of contributing factors that come together to create the end results. Some contributing factors that we as responders can address to prevent such incidents are: 1, ensure our technical knowledge; 2, be aware of the hazards in our community; and 3, learn from history. The history of ammonium nitrate should be well known by every firefighter. We don't fight ammonium nitrate fires. If there's an identified life safety issue, then cooling the ammonium nitrate with water may reduce the risk until the life safety issue can be quickly resolved. After it's resolved, it's time to withdraw. Learn from the past, understand the hazards, and know your community. That's the purpose of Hazmats in history. They are intended to bring light to those things that have occurred in the past that define the way we should operate today. Until the next Hazmat in history, I'm Doug Wolf.